Hi, my name is Dylan Spencer, and today I'll be presenting on improving biodiversity laws. Some topics that we'll be covering in this presentation are what biodiversity loss is and how humans are affecting it, what effect biodiversity loss is having on the environment, and how people can keep biodiversity loss from happening. This graph here shows some major contributors to biodiversity loss, as well as other things that are human ecological footprints. Um, the main thing here that is contributing to biodiversity loss is the carbon footprint. Second to that would be cropland footprint. These are two very big areas that the human population does need to work on to improve biodiversity loss. But what can we do to change biodiversity loss? Well, first we have to start with the Bible. It's always good to start with the Bible. In Genesis 1:28, it says, God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So what this means for us is that we are to take care of the earth, take care of the things that are around us, take care of the plants and animals that are under our care. Um, Biodiversity loss affects more than just our food chain, though. It also affects ecosystem functions, leading to species being less able to respond to change in the environment and making them increasingly vulnerable to natural disasters. According to an online article I found, the numbers are devastating of what's happening to the Amazon forest. 17% of the forest has been wholly lost, and an additional 17% are being degraded, and that was as of 2020. And it still continues to grow today. The Amazon is in crisis as forests are threatened by deforestation, fires, and degradation. Surface water has also been lost, and rivers are increasingly being disconnected and polluted. So what can we do to help this? Well, if you look at this graph here, we can see many of the things that cause um, biodiversity loss, and we can keep an eye out for these things and also make sure that we don't do them as well. Land and sea uses, those are responsible for 80% of deforestation. Pollution, that is something that humans, us as people, can strive to be better at, is not polluting as much. Species overexploitation, for all those hunters out there who hunt and fish. Don't overkill your limit, don't overfish your limit. There's a reason that the limits are there. That's to keep a balance in the system. Climate change is another reason. We do not have as much of a thumb on that, but we can still be conscious of how we contribute CO2 to the climate. And invasive species and diseases. According to the Living Planet report in 2020, there has been a 68% average decline of birds, amphibians, mammals, fish, and reptiles since 1970. So why is biodiversity important? Well, biodiversity is important more than we think and affects more than just a few plants and animals. Biodiversity loss can affect economies, countries, and even the whole entire human food chain. This graph here shows many of the areas that are affected by biodiversity, such as the Earth's surface and others. You can pause here and look if you want. So our final takeaways. Biodiversity loss is a very real problem. Biodiversity loss is caused by humans being careless. And biodiversity loss can be improved by humans being more conscious of how their actions are changing the environment around them. From this presentation on biodiversity, we have learned that it is extremely important to understand the effects that our actions have on our ecosystem and biodiversity.